Namaste and welcome to this Yin practice to relax the nervous system. So before we begin, I invite you to grab your props. So if you have a bolster, then great. If not, that's fine. You're more than welcome to use a couple of pillows or some cushions, some blocks if you have them. And I also suggest a blanket. That's a really great prop for Yin. When you're ready, we'll come down and find your comfortable seat. Sitting up nice and tall, the shoulders relaxing down and away from the ears. When you're ready, we'll close the eyes. And we'll take 3 breaths together, inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling out of the mouth. Beautiful. Twice more. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Let's make this last breath the deepest one you've taken all day. And maybe this time giving a sigh as you exhale. Letting go of anything that you have waiting for you on the other side of this practice. And allowing yourself to be here. Our Yin Yoga practice has 3 principles. The first one, where we find and meet our appropriate edge. So we're not being pushy or forceful with our bodies. Just coming into the shape where we start to feel something and pausing there. The second principle is that we hold in stillness. And doing our best to avoid any fidgeting. And obviously, if you have any pain sensations, any tingling sensations, then by all means, either exit the pose entirely or meet your new appropriate edge. And the last principle is that we hold that shape. Today, each hold will be for 3 minutes. Awesome. When you're ready, we'll blink open the eyes and we'll begin with our warm-up. So if you're cross-legged and want to stay that way, when we come into our forward fold, you'll bring your hands down to the earth and you'll bow your head. Otherwise, we'll come to fold our legs underneath us. I'll just move my blanket out of the way. And as I'm folding my legs underneath me, as I come into my forward fold, I can find a child's pose and bring my head all the way down towards the earth. When you're ready, we'll start with our fingertips beside us and tapping the earth. As you inhale, we'll bring the arms overhead, gazing up in between the hands. And as you exhale, we'll bring the hands to the shoulders and push them out to the sides, dropping your chin towards your chest. Inhaling the hands back to the shoulders, rolling them away from the ears as you lift your gaze to open your heart. And as you exhale, we'll round through the spine, pushing the hands away from the body. Your next inhale lifts the body, lifts the arms, lifts the gaze. And as you exhale, finding your forward fold. We'll be here for 1 cycle of breath. Beautiful, twice more. Inhale to lift the body, lift the arms, lift the gaze. And exhale the hands to the shoulders and out to the sides as we drop our chin towards our chest. Inhaling the fingertips back to the shoulders, rolling them away from the ears. And as you exhale, rounding through the spine, pushing the hands away, big stretch across the backs of the shoulders. We'll inhale to lift the arms and the gaze. And again, as you exhale, finding your forward fold, one cycle of breath here. Beautiful. Last time. Inhale to lift the body, the arms and gaze. Exhaling, hands to shoulders and out to the sides. Inhale the hands back to the shoulders and open the chest. And exhale to round through the shoulders, pushing the hands away. We'll inhale to lift the arms and gaze. And this time, as we come into our forward fold, we'll be here for 3 breaths. Beautiful. At the end of your 3rd breath, we'll bring the hands to the ground. We'll push into our hands to sit ourselves up. I'm going to demonstrate for you now our first shape, which is open wing. So we'll begin, I'm just going to move my blanket to here. We'll begin laying on our front. Careful not to kick the Christmas tree. And we're going to bring our left arm out to shoulder level at the side. So I'll show you with my right what it will look like. So once your left arm is out to the side, we're going to bring our right hand down to the ground. And we're going to push into the right hand. So we're now turning onto our left side. Now this is your first option, to rest your top leg on a prop or on the floor. You could also bring a pillow or something comfy underneath your head. So here would be your first option. Second option is to scissor the legs. So the left leg comes forward and the right leg comes back. So you're opening out a little bit more into that shoulder. Third option is to bend the right knee and bring the sole of the foot down onto the ground. Now, if this knee feels like it wants to keep dropping down towards the ground, then I'd scissor the legs. Last option for this top hand, it can stay on the ground where it is. Or if you'd like, you can take a bind by bringing your right arm up towards the ceiling, bend the elbow, and we'll bring the forearm down to rest at the lower back. To come out of the shape, we'll simply reverse the way we went in. So we'll let go of the bind, and then we'll come to lay on our front. We'll bring the left arm in and rest or turn the gaze. So when you're ready, let's come into open wing. So laying on your front, left arm out to the side, right hand to the earth. We'll push into the right hand, so we're laying on our left side. Finding your option for your legs. So maybe the top leg rests on a prop. Maybe you scissor the legs, bringing the right leg back. Or maybe you bring the sole of the foot down to the earth. Finally, lift your right arm and take the bind. So the back of the hand, back of the forearm rests on the lower back. And when you're ready, closing your eyes. And using your breath to anchor you into this shape. So we're nurturing the shoulder joints, the tissues surrounding the shoulders. There's also a real gentle twist of the spine in this shape. And it's the twisting of the spine that invites in relaxation. That calms the nervous system. We're already halfway to the holding of this shape. And remembering Yin isn't a competition. I don't have to find the deepest expression possible. It doesn't matter what shape I'm holding. And if this was an in-person class, I'd say most of the class would be doing something completely different to the person next to them. This is an introspective practice. Listening to your own body, the unique experience of you. Beautiful. Last 3 breaths. And at the end of your 3rd breath, if you took the bind with your right arm behind you, I invite you to lift it up towards the sky and then bring that hand down towards the earth. If you had a prop for your right leg, just move it out of the way so that you can come to lay on your front. We'll bring the left arm in and we'll turn the gaze a couple of cycles of breath. And when we're working on one side of the body and then the other, this rebound is a great opportunity to really feel into and notice the sensations, the difference on the left and right side of the body. Beautiful. If you like some gentle movement, you might like to gently roll the shoulders or maybe bump the hips from side to side. And now we'll go ahead and do the same, but on the other side. And you might notice here that the left and right side of your body might feel different. So you might have to support yourself differently. So you're remembering those 3 options to explore. We'll begin by moving any props to the other side. We'll bring the right arm out to the side at shoulder level, looking to the left. The left hand comes down to the earth, and then we'll push into the left hand to roll out onto that right side. Option to rest that left leg on a prop, to scissor the legs, or to bring the sole of the left foot down to the ground. Bring the left arm up into the sky and then lowering forearm and back of the hand onto your lower back. Now settling into the shape on the other side. Noticing whether you have to support yourself differently. And again, allowing the breath to anchor you and to guide you into stillness. Marinating in this new shape. Already halfway. And a little reminder to look out for any warning signals of the body that are telling you maybe you've gone a little bit too far. So if you're feeling any electrical tingling or burning sensations, if you're feeling any sharp stabbing pain, then I invite you to maybe come out of the shape early or support yourself differently by choosing a different option. This is your practice. Last 3 breaths. And at the end of your 3rd breath, we'll release the bind by lifting the left arm into the sky, lowering it down, removing any props if your left leg was resting on one. We'll come to roll onto the body, turn the gaze to the opposite direction. We'll bring that right arm in and rest in stillness for a few breaths. And noticing the left and right side, the shoulders should be feeling more equal now. This beautiful openness. When you're ready, bring the hands underneath the shoulders and we'll push our way up to sitting. Coming into our next pose, which is a reclined bound angel. So for the shape, you'll want to bring I'm just going to move this out of the way. You're going to bring your bolster or your pillows lengthways on your mat. Awesome. And then we'll come to sit just in front. So we'll be laying back over your bolster or your pillow. Bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to drop out to the side. Now, you can support your knees by bringing some props underneath them, or if this is not for you, then you can extend your legs out long. So our bolster props come lengthways behind us. We'll come to lay down over them. We'll bring the hands above the heart and then we'll open our wings out to the sides. Now, over time, if this feels like a big stretch in the armpits, you can lower the arms down. To make your way out, bring the hands down to the ground. If you're on a mat, then hold the side of your mat. Lean over to one side and then sit yourself up, or lean right over to the side, lay on your side and stay there for a few breaths. So when you're ready, beautiful. Let's come to the ground. Bring your prop lengthways out behind you. Option to bring the soles of the feet together, and they could be closer into the body or further away, whatever feels more comfortable for you. If your knees begin to ache at any time, then straighten your legs. We'll lay down over our prop and bring the hands above the heart, and then we'll open our wings out to the sides. Beautiful. Closing your eyes here. And our reclined bound angel opens the heart, it opens the chest, inviting in deeper breathing. And I invite you to release any tension, any gripping, any holding in any part of the body. Might be some in your pelvis, maybe your belly or lower back. If you can feel yourself frowning, I invite you to soften the skin of the forehead. utilizing the power of the breath. Maybe sending your breath down to any areas that might need a little bit of help to soften, to find ease. You have 1 more minute here. Last 3 breaths. At the end of your 3rd breath, bring the hands closer to the body. Lean over to one side and either choosing to lay on your side and stay there, or sit yourself up, maybe using your hands to bring your knees together, extending the legs out long, leaning back on the hands and closing your eyes once more. The body always feels a bit fragile after holding these shapes. So we use this time to allow that fragility to disperse. If you like some gentle movement, you might windshield wiper the feet from side to side. You might bring the soles of the feet to the earth, do the same with the knees. Or that was quite a big stretch for the spine, a big hyperextension. So you might bring in some flexion and round the spine for a short counter stretch. So our last pose is legs up the wall. So if you are by a wall or want to take yourself over to a wall, then you can do exactly that. Lift your legs so your back is on the ground and your head and neck is in line with the spine, and you'll lift your legs so they are up against the wall. Or another option, which is what I'm going to do, is I begin by laying down, head and neck in line with the spine. My feet are on the floor. My knees are bent. I'll push my feet into the ground so I can lift my hips. I'll rest my hips, sacrum, on the folded blanket. And I'll lift my legs up into the sky so they feel nice and floppy here. And then you can bring your arms out to the side, palms up or down, or maybe resting them on your belly. Another nice option is to bend the legs and rest the legs on a chair. That might be quite nice. So when you're ready, coming into our legs up the wall, our final pose. Closing the eyes. The legs feeling weightless. You might be beginning to notice The stillness in the body brings stillness in the mind, brings stillness in the breath. So maybe the pauses between the breath feel a bit more noticeable. We're already halfway to the holding of this shape. Last 3 breaths. And at the end of your 3rd breath, slowly and making your way out of that pose. So if your legs were up against a wall, let's bring them down and come to lay on your mat. If they were up in the air, we'll bring the feet down, lift the hips, remove the prop. Take a couple of breaths and noticing the sensations that might be taking place in the legs. I can feel this cool tingling in my feet and calves. Beautiful. When you feel ready, coming into Shavasana, so our final pose where we rest. So you might like to get nice and comfy, bringing a pillow underneath your head, maybe using your blanket to cover you over. You can extend your legs out long with the feet flopping to the side. I like to bend my knees and bring the soles of my feet to the ground so I can kind of really lengthen through the lower back. We'll snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the heart space. We'll begin our relaxation in the legs, allowing all 10 toes to rest into the feet. Feet resting into the lower legs. Lower legs resting into the upper legs. Upper legs resting into beingness. Relaxing the arms now. Resting all 10 fingers into the hands. Hands resting into the forearms. Forearms resting into the upper arms. Upper arms resting into beingness. The hips feeling heavy, grounding into the earth. Relaxing the lower back, middle back and upper back. Letting go of any tension, gripping or holding in the chest and belly. Allowing these areas to feel nice and soft. Your sweet head resting into the support beneath it. Allowing the entire body to rest into this stillness. Now I invite you to stay here for as long as you need. I'm going to go ahead and close this class, bringing my hands together, my thumbs to my third eye. May your day be happy, healthy, and filled with love. Thank you so much for practicing with me today.